Well, thanks again for joining us. I just thought we could kick off by just kind of letting us know your name and where you're at on the tour, how the tour is going for you this year, and what you think of the Brainerd Lakes area.
Yeah, my name is Davis Lamb. This is my third year playing on the PGA Tour Americas. My first year on the PGA Tour Americas, I played when it was PGA Tour Canada for 2 years. This year's been going very well. So far, I'm second on the points list, so looking to make a bit of a run first for the rest of the season, but I've been happy with how it's been so far. And I love Brainerd. I love coming up here. You know, that's like I said, it's my third time, and I've never had a bad experience. I think the people, the community is so welcoming to us. Craigens is a phenomenal resort, so I'm really thrilled to be here.
Great, well, welcome, and we're glad to have you here. It's been exciting. So currently having a great year, second in points. It's phenomenal. What are your goals? I mean, and do you have goals that you set forth for yourself, and where you're looking to get to in the next few years?
So I avoid specific result goals because a lot of them, you know, there's an amount of luck involved that you can't control. My goal this year was, you know, coming back to this tour was to graduate again, to move on to the Korn Ferry Tour. So we're in a great position to do that, you know, with a good finish to this season. So I'm happy with that. And ultimately, the main goal is to get to the PGA Tour. I think if you ask anybody, you know, wearing a golf shirt this week, they would say the same thing. It's very difficult. It's a long and treacherous journey to get up there. But you know, this is a great starting point. This tour does a great job to prepare us, and like I said, we'll be moving up next year, and then hopefully moving on beyond that.
So what does your year look like on tour? Like, you travel, obviously. This is America's tour now. It's no longer just a Canadian tour and so forth, a North American tour. But what's your travels look like? What does the grind of the tour kind of entail for you?
So the full tour is 16 events. We started in, I believe it was late March, all the way down in Cordoba, Argentina.
Wow.
The first 6 events are in South America in 6 different countries. So that alone is a bit of a grind just to travel down there, because anytime you're flying from one country to another, it can be difficult. I was fortunate this year to have very little, if any, travel issues. Most flights that I were on got in on time. My hotel reservations were all there when I got to the front desk, things like that, which you're always a little bit worried about, especially traveling to a non-English speaking country. But it's just something, it's just the nature of pro golf. You know, we don't play in one place ever. It's not like we have a home base city. Every week we're in a different place. This tour is structured now very well, at least the Canadian swing, where we're going east to west. My first year out here, we went from Saskatchewan all the way over to Prince Edward Island, 2 weeks back to back, which for those who don't know is about across the entirety of the United States.
Yes.
But, you know, it's a grind you have to learn to love, to be able to see these cities, to play and experience different cultures. It takes a bit of time, you know, coming from college where you're playing relatively local to where your school is, to frankly all over the world. So you have to embrace it and enjoy it. There are times when it is a grind and it's not as fun, but that's just kind of all part of the experience.
So you traveled all over the place this year. We're really rural, and we're central Minnesota, really rural. That's where our roots come from at CTC. Do you have other rural communities or rural areas that you're kind of traveling and visiting as well?
Yeah, absolutely. For the Canadian swing, for the most part, outside of maybe Victoria and really just Victoria. I haven't been to Vancouver yet, where we play our final this year. South America is largely relatively close to big cities.
Okay.
But yeah, once we get up to Canada, we play a lot of areas where, you know, you're flying into the airport and you have an hour or so drive to get to where you're going. So it's not unusual for us to be in an area like this, and we really enjoy it, because when you get to a big city, they kind of, you know, who cares about a PGA Tour Americas event? You know, they have all sorts of things going. Like, if you're in the middle of Toronto, they're not going to go see you over a Blue Jays game, generally. But we come to these towns, you know, they're so excited to have us, and they really roll out the red carpet, so it's a lot of fun.
Good. Yeah, and it means a lot to us to have this level of golf in our community as well. So it's very exciting, and to be able to bring this and partner with Craigens and have them part of the community it's awesome to have you here, and we love it. In your travels, I mean, we invest a lot of money in fiber optics and getting bandwidth and internet to people in really rural areas. How important is it for you to stay connected while you're traveling? And when you're in some of these rural areas, do you rely on that heavy? Do you notice it and stuff like that? That, man, I'm so glad I can stay connected to family and friends and do what I need to do while on the road.
Absolutely, absolutely. Obviously, you know, being in touch with family and friends is hugely important. But from a golf perspective, I think I speak for at least 90% of the tour when I say that communication with our coaches while we're at the course is very important. So having that service to be able to, for example, I was on FaceTime with my coach on the range yesterday, and it's not just the fact that the connection and the call goes through, but you need clear picture for that to actually be effective.
Right.
So to be able to be in these rural areas where maybe 10 years ago the service would have been pretty poor, we noticed this. I wasn't up here 10 years ago, but it's a significant improvement in the fact that, you know, it's high speed, we have clear connection to be able to talk to family or coaches or whoever.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming today, and good luck this week. We'll be following you, and I'd love to say we'll hope to see you again next year, but I hope we don't see you next year, because hopefully you're on the Korn Ferry Tour and we're rooting for you there. But thanks so much. And what do you think of visiting here? Did you have any last minute thoughts of the this experience and just kind of getting to see behind the scenes of what we do here?
Yeah, very, very cool. Like I said, it's my first time in an office during business hours, so to see people working and doing their jobs is very cool. I think, you know, what you guys do in a community like this is very, very important, and I'm sure the community is very, very thankful, and we as a tour are very thankful that you guys support us. So, you know, you're doing a lot of great work, and I hope it continues.